Ma'am Pris, bawal ka itong store, Ma'am Pris. My God.
Yosef. Lord.
On the night of September 30th, 2025, the Philippines experienced a moment it will not forget. At 9:59 p.m., a powerful 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck the central Visayas region, with its epicenter off the northern coast of Cebu, about 17 kilometers from the city of Bogo. Because it originated at a shallow depth of only 10 kilometers, the impact was devastating. The quake caught thousands of people by surprise in their homes and public spaces. The first minutes were filled with confusion. Walls collapsed, roads cracked, and structures gave way. In just seconds, daily life across Cebu was upended. One of the most tragic incidents occurred in San Remigio. A sports complex collapsed during a basketball game, killing at least 6 people, including a child, a firefighter, and members of the Coast Guard. Widespread power outages plunged entire communities into darkness. Water supplies were disrupted in several towns, leading to urgent appeals for immediate assistance. In Bogo, rescue teams raced against time. Residents and volunteers joined the brigades amid the chaos, searching for those trapped beneath the rubble. But worse news was still to come. Assessments confirmed severe damage to several historic temples. The Santa Rosa de Lima Cathedral in Daanbantayan lost part of its structure, while the San Pedro Church in Bantayan was also heavily affected, putting the region's cultural heritage at risk. The scale of the disaster forced the suspension of classes and government work in cities such as Lapu-Lapu, Mando, Talisui, and Consolation. The move prioritized safety while engineers inspected schools and public offices. The authorities' first action was to make search and rescue the top priority. In mountain villages, access was blocked by landslides and damaged roads, delaying the arrival of emergency teams. Minutes after the quake, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center issued an alert for Cebu and surrounding provinces. Hours later, it was lifted after no significant changes were detected in sea levels. Still, the warning kept coastal communities on edge throughout the night. Fear of a repeat of past tragedies forced thousands of families to remain outdoors in open areas. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology reported that more than 1 million people in the Visayas felt the quake. In Cebu City and Leyte, the intensity reached level 6, in San Fernando, level 3, and in Samar, level 2. The U.S. Geological Survey estimated that about 124,000 people were exposed to severe shaking, 500,000 to very strong shaking, and nearly 12 million felt the quake at moderate to strong intensity across the archipelago. Measurements varied between agencies. The German Research Center for Geosciences initially reported a magnitude of 6.7, while the U.S. agency adjusted its figures from 7.0 to 6.9 after further review. Beyond the numbers, experts warned of another serious threat: soil liquefaction. The ground conditions in northern Cebu made it likely that the terrain could lose stability, increasing the risk of collapses and sinkholes. In Cebu City, home to nearly 1 million residents, modern buildings also showed visible damage. While most major structures withstood the tremor, many walls cracked and heavy objects fell inside homes and offices. Social life was also disrupted. In the capital, a beauty pageant was abruptly halted when contestants and the audience rushed out of the venue as the quake struck. Aftershocks began soon after the main quake. Fivolks recorded more than a dozen in the first few hours, centered along the northern coast of Cebu and parts of Leyte. Several reached magnitudes above 4.0. Authorities advised residents to avoid re-entering damaged structures. Open fields, plazas, and sports courts became makeshift shelters for thousands of families. The national government deployed engineering brigades, medical personnel, and military units. Their primary goals were rescuing trapped victims, restoring communications, and ensuring access to food and water. But the situation worsened further when prolonged power outages and communication failures were confirmed. In Daanbantayan, entire communities were cut off for hours. The early morning hours proved critical. Rescuers worked among unstable structures, in complete darkness, as aftershocks continued to threaten their safety. The hardest-hit municipalities began preparing to declare a state of calamity. This measure was expected to speed up funding releases and open the door to international assistance. The U.S. Geological Survey issued a yellow alert for possible human and economic losses. While the impact was expected to be localized, past experience in the region suggested significant material damage. By the end of the day, there was still no official confirmation of fatalities in Cebu City, but multiple reports pointed to injuries and partial collapses of older buildings in several towns. Transport routes also faced disruption. Major highways were blocked by debris and deep cracks, complicating the movement of humanitarian aid and the transfer of the injured to regional hospitals. Officials stressed that the risk of further aftershocks would remain in the coming days. Residents were urged to stay alert and follow official advisories. The economic toll began to surface immediately. Businesses shut down, port operations were suspended, and maritime transport in northern Cebu was temporarily halted. As dawn broke on October 1st, the region was still in crisis. The focus remained on rescuing those trapped, treating the injured, and restoring basic services such as power, water, and telecommunications. The Cebu earthquake was a stark reminder of the Philippines' vulnerability to shallow seismic events. With millions affected either directly or indirectly, the full scope of the disaster was still unfolding.